This content is a work of fiction inspired by regional folklore, urban legends, cultural storytelling traditions, and anecdotal reports submitted online. While presented in a documentary narrative format for immersion and entertainment, no claims are made regarding the factual accuracy of the events described. Join the Red Sky Collective, subscribe, like, and activate notifications so you're among the first to receive our next classified case file.
The Route 66 dimensional incident. The family that drove into a world that shouldn't exist, 1957. Red Sky Collective, UAP and Paranormal Research Division. In the summer of 1957, the Holloway family left Tulsa, Oklahoma, heading west toward Flagstaff, Arizona, on what was supposed to be a vacation, a family road dream like so many others of that golden American era. John Holloway, disciplined, logical, grounded. Mary Holloway, gentle, faithful, quietly strong. 12-year-old Michael, curious, anxious, always thinking too much. 7-year-old Emily, small, sweet, living in that fragile half-world where imagination still bends reality. They were driving a 1956 Chevrolet Bel Air. Shiny chrome, cream, and pale blue. Freedom on wheels. But Route 66 was different then. The distances were emptier, the desert larger, the silence deeper. And sometimes silence isn't absence. It's pressure. It didn't start dramatic. It started strange. No bugs hit the windshield. No birds crossed the sky. No cars passed from ahead or behind. Miles and miles of nothing. The gas gauge stopped moving. The clock on the dashboard froze. But the sky kept darkening. Michael noticed first. He said the road wasn't behaving. Route markings weren't ticking past in rhythmic repetition. They stretched. They bent, as if the road wasn't flat anymore. John said it was his eyes adjusting to dusk. He didn't believe that, because he saw it too. The world was stretching. Then they saw lights ahead. Relief turned to unease. A town appeared too suddenly. A place that didn't feel found. It felt presented. Neon lights flickered lazily. Street lamps hummed with tired electricity. A diner glowed in soft yellow. But the town didn't feel alive. It felt staged. Buildings too still. Shadows too perfect. Signs almost right, but slightly wrong. Lettering like English reconstructed from memory. They entered the diner. Chairs perfectly arranged. Plates neatly set. Coffee cups filled. But the liquid inside was ice cold. Not fresh. Not rotten. Time didn't exist here. Mary whispered they should leave. John agreed. They stepped outside. And Route 66 was gone. No highway. No Hiraisen. Just a darkness that wasn't night. Darkness that felt like an absence of reality. They drove anyway. Forward. Always forward. And something watched them. They didn't walk into sight. They simply existed. Tall silhouettes. Wrong proportions. Limbs slightly too long. No blinking. No sados. Emily said they were friendly. Michael said they were studying. John didn't want to describe them at all. The car became a coffin on wheels. Then the radio turned on. Not music. Not static. A child's voice. Emotionless but trying to imitate emotion. Family. Road. Stay. Stay where you belong. Stay where you were meant to go. It didn't come from the radio. It used the radio. They blacked out. When awareness returned, they were back in the town. But now it wasn't empty. It was occupied, but not by humans. Heights identical. Movements synchronized. Smiles stretched wrong. Teeth slightly transparent like glass. They approached slowly. Not because they needed to. Because it enjoyed being slow. They screamed. The town listened. Curious. Like a child learning what fear sounds like. Then, silence. The world forgot them. Route 66 didn't. 3 months later, on a cold October morning, 2 figures appeared walking along the highway. Mary and Emily, barefoot, pale, smiling too calmly. Their pupils didn't adjust properly to light. Their heartbeats slightly out of rhythm. Not medically dangerous, just biologically wrong. Emily didn't speak for 48 hours. When she did, it was not English, not any known language. When audio analysts later examined her voice, they found 2 voices, Emily, and another voice layered beneath. Not echo, presence. Mary returned to life, or something imitating life. She stared at empty corners as if someone whispered there. Lights flickered when she entered rooms. Mirrors fogged around her face. Then people disappeared, quietly, casually, as if erased. Authorities questioned her. She only said, they were lonely. The town needed people. Roads don't just take you somewhere. Sometimes they bring something back. Emily drew, endlessly, streets of a town that didn't exist here. Buildings too perfect, figures too tall. When asked who they were, she finally spoke English again. They don't like being alone. Then she stopped speaking forever. The mysterious cassette in the abandoned car was studied decades later. Hidden under Emily's adult voice were children laughing, footsteps, breathing beside the microphone, and a low-engine hum, but not from any human machine. Not mechanical, alive. Some researchers say the tape isn't a message. It's a door, and every time someone plays it, something listens back. Mary died in 1973. No body was buried. Coffin sealed. Authorities silent. Emily vanished at 19. In sleep. No signs of entry. No straged. Only one strange detail. Her mattress had the imprint of someone else lying beside her before she disappeared. She left smiling, as if the town finally came for her. Route 66 isn't a highway. It's a scar. A fault line in reality. Sometimes scars open. Sometimes roads don't take travelers across the world. Sometimes roads collect. Sometimes roads hunger. And when hunger meets loneliness, something crosses over. Something wearing our smiles wrong. Something practicing how to be human. Something waiting patiently. Truckers speak of neon lights flickering where no towns exist. Voices on radios that don't belong to anyone alive. Laughter in the distance where sound cannot travel. And sometimes, a town appears, just long enough, for someone to enter, and not leave. If you ever drive Route 66, and the world grows too still, and the road feels too long, and a town appears that shouldn't exist, don't slow down. Don't look back. Don't listen if it calls your name. Because some roads aren't meant to be traveled. They're meant to hunt. And if they choose you, you won't come back alone.